Hello Virgo, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Leslie Ormsby, and yes, I'm back again doing these videos. So these ones are going to be slightly different in the sense of the question or how the reading is coming about and asking questions, and it's intuitive like it was before, but this time I have a question and it's a little bit broader than what you might most need to know like right now. So, and on that note, it is about that, but there is a question before that. So with each reading that I'm going to be doing, so each month probably I'm going to work on doing them, at least 2 a month. We'll just see what happens. I'm intuitively guided, so I will be doing it that way, of course. But also with a bit of a plan in place as well. So there could be something that's coming up for you, Virgo, is like, yes, winging it to some degree, but also having maybe a little bit of a plan a lot of a plan, but make sure that it's being kept flexible or versatile for you to integrate or bring in something else that may be, really helpful for you in the way of for an outcome that is what you most like to experience. Okay, so anyway, it's just come out, so I just had to say that first. So once again, welcome. And also remember to just do my little blurb. Remember to subscribe to my channel before you go, or do that now. Also, please leave me a like or a comment, just so I know that I don't have to know, but it's just nice to know how the readings may be resonating with you and that sort of thing. So those are 2 ways, and also subscribing. There's 3 ways to let me know there. Okay, anyway, so let's just get going. So, okay. Oopsie daisy, there's a lot going on. I'm not going to take that because it's half the deck that just fell out. So today I'm using Archangel Michael's deck that with messages that he's brought through by the way of words or a phrase. So anyway, to help bring the message out, or give you the guidance out that you're maybe most needing to know right now. Okay, so the other thing is just remember too that these are general, so they may not suit, or resonate with everybody right now, if at all ever. So, but I feel like in some time or space that's probably going to resonate. But so just take what does resonate with you and leave what doesn't. My readings tend to be more in the moment of what is going on or what is possibly being, needing to take a look at, to view anyway. So that's why they're kind of like spontaneous. So there may be something about you moving or being more in that space, and maybe that for some of you it may be, we can be OTT, and we can be or underdo it, in OTT, and that way as in a lack of. So there seems to be, for some of you, there's probably, a lack of for some, but there may be an OTT where it's like finding that balance is what Spirit is saying, or it's coming back to a neutral space and maybe needing to like take a look at what might be going on. Anyway. And anyway, this is the interesting, because your question is, what can I do to find calm when my mind feels chaotic? Okay. Oh, okay. I will take those 2. So I'm also using the Moonology deck of cards as well to bring through the message. So the first card out with Archangel Michael is yoga, tai chi, jogging, walking, gentle workouts, and to help you with that, with that question. Okay. And when your mind gets chaotic, because when we're exercising, we're having to, center and focus on what we're doing. Otherwise, we're going to hurt ourselves, or otherwise we're not going to be into it. We're not going to get that, that benefits of, refocusing or recentering, or not even but just focusing, okay, on where it is that you really want to go rather than where you don't want to go. Because often our mind, when there's chaos, it goes down that track and it doesn't serve us well. We can use a lot of energy that could be better used in other areas of our life, that is going to make a difference, basically. Oopsie daisy. So that is one of it. And somehow, for some reason, you know, and often make the change. Okay, so there's probably something that's in your space now where, or you've been holding off on something, or, you know, you may be waiting or for the right time, or, you know, or certain things to fall into place, and that. So, and even before this, the initial or the eventual full transition on being shown is there are lots of things in between, or movements in between, that are required changing in order for the main change to come. Okay, so it's like we're building up a momentum, or we're building up energy, or we're building up you know, the research, the ideas, the curiosity, by releasing and letting go of things that no longer serve us. And interesting, clear your space. So there could be some energy, like I'm hearing maybe toxic energy. Toxic can be, you know, is quite rounded, but it may be that because this change here and this, you know, the chaotic mind, often there is something that we're not doing, that we're not honoring with ourselves in making a change, or saying, or could be saying something that could be the change is actually communicating something that you really want to say, but you're gone in your head and it's like, holy smoke, it's mucked up. I was going to say the F word, but you know what I mean. So in it's OTT. So it's maybe that there is something for some of you, like I say, there is, or Spirit is saying coming through, that maybe a slowing down of something and decluttering about why it is this movement is going that way, and maybe and quicker than maybe it needs to be. So we can, you know, we can slow things down by, you know, making some decisions or making some changes. And for others, it's going to be, it may be the other way around. That's, you know, where it's like increasing the momentum, but still having to declutter or disentangle, and or dismember, I'm hearing, for some, you know, some things from our let go of. They're just bringing in different words, because different words are going to reach different people, and it's going to be more empowering for them to and like for myself, and, you know, is, you know, that it's going to get me to take action in whatever way that means. Okay, so this one here is clearing your space. So and often like that decluttering of energy, you know, can help clear the space. So it may be that you're needing a little bit of a clear out physically around you, and it could be that the clear out could be like clearing your mind and clearing your emotions. When we're cleaning up our mind, which can, you know, when we're thinking things, but also when we can feel things, if we're more of in that empath energy, we can, there builds an emotion, and sometimes we're not knowing what that emotion is about, which could turn into an anxiety or depression. But it's going into that space and having a wee look at that, so we can clear it, and, you know, and like and disenable it, you know, disable it, yeah, or disable it, so it doesn't affect our lives in the way of procrastination, you know, and or resistance, or, you know, going into that lack space in the mind. And that, so there's something about clearing the mind, which is obviously what this is, when, you know, the mind feels chaotic, and that's generally because we're not doing something that we know that we really want to do, or we're not understanding something that we don't know the full picture, and it's like created this this chaotic mind, basically. So it's like looking at that, what is that all about, pulling it out, you know, looking at it. I feel like, you know, and I know for me meditation is you know, an amazing gift to be able to, but also ability that has enabled me to function better in life. I'm a much better Leslie than I am when I'm, when I'm meditating more often than not, put it that way. I function better. My moods are better, but my work flows better, whatever it is, whether it's this work or whether it's, just getting myself into gear and doing the gardening and, just planning and all that sort of stuff. It's just because it clears the mind. I'd have a look at it, and it creates a space that is clear and makes it available for me to like find the truth, see the truth. And and it can be it doesn't need to be always an hour long or a half hour long. It could be like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and build it up to half hour. Before you know, you're sitting there for an hour. So block out that time for you. And it can come in by the way of doing exercise like yoga, any sort of exercise where you're going to the gym for a workout. It's like shifting, because it helps shift the mindset and focus on something else that's not so chaotic. But often in there, I like vacuuming. For me is like I can go away, and it's like, and that's where I meditate a lot often. Okay, the other side, the last card here that Archangel Michael has with a suggestion is get in touch with your inner child. Let you out, go for a swing at the park, or play hopscotch, or do something that reminds you of that little person in your life when you were at that age, and how innocent and free you were, to help just like break down some of those adult barriers that you've got there now. Okay. And so you can see, the shit through the clay basically, and get rid of it, and we'll get rid of it or let it go, disable it. I keep saying disable it or untangle it, whatever it is. But it's like going there, so you can do that. If we're going to keep on avoiding it, it's going to accumulate. Okay, so that's where the chaos comes from. It makes it worse. So anyway, you are good enough, and I feel like there may be something where you may be questioning yourself that you are good enough for something. Okay, and have faith in your dreams. It may be that you've gotten this funky space where you've found yourself, you've captured yourself in a not good way. You've found yourself, in a stuck place, or feeling stuck. And it's probably, I'd say, given these, it's like because there is some sort of change that you are maybe not feeling, seeing, doing at the moment, and it may not be fully there yet, but it's like what I'm hearing is it's good prep time, because there is something coming in the near future for all of us in some way or form. But this is going back to you, Virgo, that I feel like you sense, but it's like, and so, but there is a sense of not doing what you need to do in order to be more prepared for when the time comes. Okay, so this is, and that can play havoc on the mind. It's like then you get down on yourself, so there comes this self-sabotage crap that comes up. And then so like with leaving, in order to lessen that, if it all go through that, is following your intuition basically, or following the signs that that sits really well in your heart, in your spirit, in your soul. Whatever lifts your spirit, that's what we go for. Okay, anyway, the Judgment card. So here, free, that's freedom, and just pretty much what we're talking about. Free yourself from the judgments that you put upon yourself, that chaotic mind, and and sometimes it bubbles over, so we start to judge other people as well. So maybe or think that way anyway. So maybe not fully you judge people in the sense that you might say it to their face and that. So, but I mean, if we're like shifting what we've got doing to ourselves, it shifts the perspective around us with others as well. But going back to you, yep. So judgment, freeing yourself of judgment. The Princess of Pentacles here. There's something about new energy. Could be having something to do with family. It may be that there is something, a new energy or a stale energy in your family situation where something needs to be moving towards making change in your life, in health and well-being. So that could be playing up with you now. It's maybe you're like put a bit of weight on. It could be that. Then you're getting a little bit down on yourself. So okay, what do you got to do to get yourself feeling really good about yourself? Back to the first card. So, and then, you know, in order to, it's like you're at this phase, and some of you, it may be just like a stalemate. You know, you're ready to move on from an old job, or you may be moving from, you know, shifting things in the relationship or the house or the property, or, you know, or things may be moving in the family, and it may be that you're moving out of home, and you're needing to move out of home or something like that, or you're going to in order to fulfill something else in your life. So there's that sort of thing. So you know, and you're on your way to success, the next phase of success, basically taking what you know after, you know, building on you know, going through like a challenging time. The universe, clear your space, because it opens up. Clearing your space, it opens up the world. So whether that's mentally, emotionally, you know, physically, or psychologically, you know, energetically, you know, emotionally, physically, whatever. It's like it just opens everything up, so we get a clearer perspective or perception, idea about where we could be going. The King of Cups. So get in touch with your inner child. So it could be that this is like building a better relationship with yourself. So moving towards the King of Cups, he rises above his emotions, and he's taking, I wouldn't say like control, but in a good way. Okay, so he's knowing, the control comes from the knowing that how to deal with my emotions, and you know, and it comes back to, it could be the yoga or Tai Chi, and it could be help in order, when we're dealing with our own emotions, we can see that pathway of healing, or you know, or moving through that healing process, but ideas, and you know, with our emotions and building that relationship with ourselves, that it ripples out onto others that are around in your circle that can see the change. Okay, so whatever it is, there may be something going on. So it's like, I feel like this is, the king is saying, like, get on top of it, or moving towards getting on top of that, but building 100% going to building that relationship with yourself, because in letting this little child in, it could have something to do with the inner child, that maybe like lingering there below, underneath it, everything, and that is just sparking up something in the movement at the moment. Okay, so and the last card that goes with the moon is, oh my gosh, the Fool. It was in reverse, so I'm gonna, you know, bring it up in reverse. So there, like I say, there could be some resistance, self-sabotage, and allowing yourself to go on an adventure of some sort. Yes, it's probably wise to be mindful or careful about, when I say careful, not pedantic about it, but just maybe doing a little bit more research about where you're going, what you're doing. So something around me tells me that yes, it could be valid for a lot of yous to not second guess, but to do a little bit more research, so you know for sure that actually this is where I'm going to go now. So there's in a way an integration, they're saying it, like, of that plus allowing yourself to not so much take a risk, but that's what they're calling, okay, it's a calculated risk, where and the others may be somebody, or you know, like societal sort of pressures or understanding or way of teaching things, and say don't do that, or go this way, go that way, you know, and maybe like holding you off. So but it's also your own upbringing or something that's happened in your life that may be holding you back from, you know, pursuing something that you really want to have a look at, and you know, and taking, you know, and allowing yourself to take, just know that, and trust and have faith in where you're going. Okay, so and going on an adventure, because you know, with everything that we begin, whether it's a relationship, a new job, you know, and it starts off, you know, we're uncertain, but we're going to go and have a look anyway. You know, there's enough confidence there to have a look and to explore it, knowing, then going with the knowing, the Spirit is saying, you know, remembering, going with the knowing that, you know, not everything is going to be rosy, because there are things that we're going to learn that might challenge us, and there are things that we're going to learn that we're doing that, you know, that might challenge others, you know, as well. So we're having to learn about all these things, and sometimes we're going to be in observatory mode, and sometimes we're going to be right in there and doing practical stuff, you know, practicing it and applying it. So and you know, learning new things. And it yeah, so it's like, you know, don't let yourself what I'm hearing is not letting yourself, you know, holding back. You know, it's like we can make all sorts of excuses, but I feel that's where this is about. Is maybe you've made many excuses in the past, and it's like, and it's super like not really wanting to like run with something, but this is a preparation, okay, for something. Phew. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there now with you, Virgo, and we'll see what happens. And I'll catch you at the end of the month for next month. And actually, I think we may be actually throwing in another one just to keep that momentum going through this month, as everybody is on their journey. Okay, bye for now. We'll see you next week.